Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Jedi Knights Watch. My name is Graham, and today we have another Hot Toys figure unboxing and review for you. This is the BVS Batman 2.0 Bat Flick, and I got mine from Underground Figures. Yes, this came safe and sound, double package, no issues. Thank you so much to Ray for getting this to me. This popped up late. He was sold out, but always keep an eye out because sometimes things come back in stock. So I want to invite you guys to also like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell so you don't miss any new content coming your way. Okay, a little bit of backstory here on this Bat Flick. My first ever Hot Toys figure was the 1.0, and I said I'll never get rid of it. But as we all know, figures age, sometimes not gracefully. So 2.0 is announced. I'm like, ooh, well, you know, we'll see. I've customized my 1.0. I've done a lot of work to it with some Topo and Jackson stuff. I think it looks pretty good. We'll compare it later on, but kind of wanted to get this one. I think the Cowl could have been a lot better by Hot Toys, so we're going to talk about that. I'm a little on the fence about this figure because, as you know, the head sculpt is the soul of the figure itself. So nevertheless, let's get this thing on the turntable. It's a bigger box. It's a little bit hefty compared to your normal style. You got the warnings and the legal stuff on the back, and it is, for being like a thicker, heavier box, because it's got this diorama base, the box itself is still that thin material, kind of flimsy. I would have liked something a little bit more heftier, I guess. But here it is in the clamshell, and this comes with a lot of stuff. When we actually get it spread out onto the table, we actually have three kind of different trays here. So front and center, we have the figure itself, and then we have all the accessories and the hands over on the left. We have the head sculpts, the cowls, a couple extra face plates, and of course the cape and the diorama base there on the lower shelf. All right, let's get the figure out here. I want to take a look at this first impressions because he's always seemed a little too happy for me. I want the angry Batman, and here he is. And I don't know, like, he just looks too friendly. He looks a little like George Clooney, and it bothers me. But let's talk about the base first. We have this nice dry brushing over this like metal frame. It's all gashed up and broken off there, and it looks nice. We have the crotch grabber that goes here. It's actually dynamic. I'm going to swap it out for just a normal crotch grabber. And then we have like the background, the diorama base, and it's got this ladder which you can unplug and move it up if you want. You can flip it around and it just pegs into the base, and you can get the brick wall here. You got like this rubble there on the bottom. It looks really cool. So again, just kind of pegs in on the bottom. You can reverse it, which is kind of cool. It's a little on the gaudy side for me, but overall I think this is going to work nice. We get a bunch of different hands. We have like the gripping hands here. We have other style hands. The gloves look really nice. Nice paint apps as well. Kind of relaxed hands. And then he has fisted hands on the figure right now. We got his gun, which comes with 2 bullets, which I didn't show, but you kind of get the idea. It's got a adjustable stock there. And then I like this gauntlet gun too with the nice wood grain handle there. Is a nice touch. You got his brander, which looks really good. It's got like a nice dry brushing on there. Really small, but really good detail. I think it comes with 4 batarangs. Nice silver touch to that with a little bit of pitting. And then we have like the grappling effects here. A couple different ones here. I'm not going to use these, but nice to have. And then we do have a wired cape. It's nice that they offer both the wired and the draped. It's got a tattered edge here and a lot of like weathering on the bottom. It's a thicker material. The wires aren't the best, but they hold fine. I'm not a big fan of wired capes, but it's nice to have that just in case. And then we have like these pieces right here, which are going to be used for displaying like the portrait if you want, or the secondary cowl that comes with it. If you're into that, you know, at least you can get some sort of use out of like the, you know, the portrait. If you're not, it's kind of weird because it's just like his head, but you know, if you want to display them, you can do that. I don't know why you'd want a second cowl just kind of being displayed, but nonetheless, you can do it. The portrait itself, Ben Affleck, looks good, but I don't know. It still looks older. Like a lot of this screams Justice League to me. Just looks a little bit older than BVS. It's got like a nice shadow there on the neck and on the face. I do like the swappable hair pieces. The hair itself looks really good. You got a little bit of white there going on the sides. I think the likeness to Ben Affleck's pretty good. We can swap the front hair pieces out, so like you can go with like the more of like he just took the cowl off kind of look. I like this look a little bit better here. But again, he just looks a little older than maybe he should. Maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments what you think, or if I'm onto something here. All right. The faceplates. I have problems with these faceplates. Again, they look more like Justice League, and they don't, or like even like Flash Batman, and I think these are compatible with Flash Batman as well. So that is a little That's a little irritating to me too, but I think once we get the better look at this, I think there's too much of a gap between the lip and the nose, and I think he's too chubby, and I don't like the little cheeks, little cheeks there that just kind of poke out a bit. So we'll look at that a little bit closer here in a second, but I'm not a big fan of any of these. Lucky for me, I'm going to get the Jackson cowl, and that's why I got this figure, because I'm going to be modding the cape and the cowl. Here are the two cowls. One on the left is the normal, and then the one on the right is the actual articulating one. Now, my problem with the articulating one is he looks odd when he's got his head turned to the side. It doesn't look natural. Plus, the jawline just looks a little too narrow for where it kind of comes down. But like this, I don't want my Batman looking like that. Like, he can't turn the head with the cowl, with the normal cowl. Well, he probably couldn't turn his head in the suit either. So, you know, kind of what's the big deal? But there's not even a whole lot of movement like up or down. It's really just left to right, and I just don't think it looks very natural. So I'm going to go with the normal one. It's got just a little bit wider of a jaw. It looks a little bit more natural. They did do a good job hiding like the seam though, but the problem with this one is getting him back on the figure. The cape gets all messed up. It's hard to line that back up, but also the peg messes up the eyes almost every time, and it's super annoying. It took me about 10 tries just to get the head back on. So, but oh well, let's keep going. Let's get the figure out here and take a look on the stand. First impressions, I'm impressed with the proportions. I like the color grading better on the suit as opposed to the last one. I thought the last one was too dark. You could barely see like the bat emblem on the chest. And we're going to see a little bit of different variants of color in this too, and you can kind of see it working with the diorama base here too. So not bad. Looks pretty good. Let's get a close-up though and see more on this cowl with the face plates here. Like, you can't tilt the head down. You can see the cowl's already kind of sticking up in the back, so there's no movement. I want him looking down but his eyes up, make him more menacing, and I can't get that look. He's too friendly, he's too happy, he's too George Clooney. But let's get him in hand and maybe we'll figure something out here. Taking a look at the suit a little bit closer, you can see like browns working its way through the suit. I kind of like that. The suit itself is a little bit more accurate to the film, and the color is a little bit lighter of a gray, so that's really nice. The cape looks good, but again, once you take the head off, it's hard to get the cape kind of draping as well as it should here. It's not bad for a stock cape, but it's so thick. It just, I don't know why they can't get it right, but same weathering as the wired cape. It looks good. It's not bad. You could get away with just keeping the stock cape, but I'm still going to get the custom one. I want him to look more menacing, but you almost have to move the abs because he can't really look down. He's just too straight up and down. He doesn't look scary. Like, this Batman again is like supposed to be scary. Like, he doesn't look scary to me. I don't know. Some people love it. I'm a little bit I guess a little bit more stingy on how he looks, and I'm hoping that the Jackson cowl will kind of fix some of that. But the belt is nice and loose. It's floating. Really nice gold color. You got the gauntlets here as well. It's got a little bit of a shine, but in more of a natural light, you'll see in the module case, it's not too bad. And then he also has the split cut boot design. And on the back, you can see the zipper. I don't know if you can get in there or not, though. But overall, it's really hefty. I like the size of it. It's really cool. Comparing it to the 1.0 stock here, I don't know. I kind of like the stock cowl better than this one. It's not perfect. It's dated for sure, but I do definitely think it looks better. But you can see the proportions definitely look better on the new one. The color grading on the suit looks nicer. You can definitely see the emblem a lot easier as well. He's just got better proportions, more like Ben Affleck would. It's a little bit more convincing. So I like that definitely about this new one. It's just I'm really having a hard time getting through to that cowl, and it's probably because that's the soul of the figure, right? If you get the cowl wrong, you get the whole thing wrong. Now same figure on the right, but this has the topo head sculpt, which I think looks really good, but I really do think the paint apps suffer on the topo cowl. So again, if the paint apps were better, I probably would have just kept the 1.0. If you can get a Zao cowl, then I think you're good with the 1.0. But I do like the color variation on the 2.0 a lot better. I'm still not sure about the base though. If I like that, you can barely get on the base, which is kind of a problem. I don't know why Hot Toys does that sometimes, where they give you these diorama bases, but they give you nowhere to stand. Like, there's no room for the figure to actually be on the stand. And they've done it with Han Solo, they've done it with this one, they've done it with a bunch of other ones as well. But here he is too with Nightmare Batman. So as you can see, the scaling's a lot different. So it's kind of throwing me off in the display a little bit too, because now Nightmare looks kind of small compared to this new one. So is Hot Toys going to make a new Nightmare Batman, or do I just have to kind of deal with what we have here? I do like the Topo head sculpt better on this one, with the goggles on it and everything. It looks a lot better in the coat, but he looks kind of miniature now, so that's a problem too. All right, this is the pose that I'm going to go with because I just want my Batman kind of brooding and whatnot. So I'm going to adjust it a little bit. He doesn't look as natural as I'd like, so I apologize for that. But let's talk about some of the things that I like about the figure and some things not so much. Starting with the likes, I've been saying it the whole video. I really like the proportions and how updated it is. I like how the suit, the color is a little bit lighter color, more of a gray, and that emblem on the chest kind of just stands out just a little bit more. I like that the stand is reversible. I don't like that it's kind of missing that chunk and his foot's kind of hanging off, but it does look nice. And finally, something that I didn't really mention in the video is the hands are a lot easier to interchange. They don't fall, the gauntlets don't push them off like the 1.0. Some things that I didn't like as much, the first thing would be the cowl and the face plates. They're not accurate, they're not mean looking enough. You can see like there's a gap here between the skin and the cowl, and you can see like his cheeks are kind of sticking out. He's puffy. He's almost like got a smirk as opposed to being really mean. And I think the lip is too far from the nose. Just does not look accurate to me. But that's, again, that's my thoughts here. The other thing is like the cape is really hard to wrap around the bottom of the cowl. Once you take the head off, it's just hard to get it back to how it was stock. So that was a big pain and not fun to do. The other thing is that the base almost isn't big enough for him to stand on. Like his foot's kind of always half off. Now, if you're using the dynamic pull, he could be floating and whatnot. It's not a big deal. So this is kind of just a nitpick. But other than that, I just don't think this sizes well with the Nightmare Batman. But hopefully they give us a 2.0 for that. Let's get him into the cases here and see how he looks for now. We're waiting on Artemis and Harley Quinn. Here they are together. I think in more of this lighting here, he's not as shiny. I think he looks pretty good. Got to get that cowl so we can get him to look a little bit meaner and whatnot. And maybe just update this pose a little bit too. But really big thanks to Underground Figures for getting this to me safely. Double boxed, 100% reliable as Underground Figures. So go check them out and tell them that the Jedi sent you. Alright guys, well there you have it. Let me know what you think about this video. Let me know if you have this Batman, if I'm crazy for thinking these thoughts, or if I'm onto something. I want to know from you guys. So hit me up, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, stay safe out there, and God bless.